Going live. And we're live on a Thursday. What's going on, everybody? I hope you can hear me. Sorry, I forgot the timing of our own show. It's been a busy day. It's been a hectic day. So we're live at 8 p.m. every Thursday, GMT plus 7. I'm letting you guys know and also letting myself know. Anyway, welcome back to the third episode of the Seismiq Growth Show, where myself, Joon K. Lee, and my friend over here, Parker Casio, we talk about agency life, what it's like running agencies, and how you might be able to grow your agency or even start your agency and start building brands from anywhere in the world. I am live from Phuket, Thailand. Parker, where are you at? He is asleep. Parker is in Indonesia, traveling between Bali and Surabaya every once in a while. However, COVID has us all locked down. The show we want to talk about for this episode today, hold on, I'm going to get this guy off the screen because he is frozen. There we go. So let us know where you're tuning in from. I have a friend, Dave and Jareen, our friends over here watching in from the Philippines. Thank you for your support. And today, Parker and I wanted to talk about to scale or not to scale. Now, it might sound like a stupid question because, of course, you want to scale. Of course, you want to grow. You've built a business to make more money. However, there are times... Hold on, Parker's back now.
I'm sorry. Why it's always happen when we live and my internet just go broke? Oh my god.
Well, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, there are times where you may not want to scale, or you do want to scale, but you're not ready to scale. So that's really what I mean, or what we mean by the question: to scale or not to scale. So let's start off by talking about how we started. Scaling, I mean, because we already went over how we started our agencies. But Parker, do you remember the time where, like, did you ever hit a point where it's like, okay, this is now I am scaling the agency? Like, did you have this moment?
I think yeah. It's like in 2015, I think. Yeah.
2015.
Yeah, the fifth. It's like 6 years ago, I think. Yeah, 6 years ago, 6 or 5 years ago. Like aha
Yeah,
moments, right?
yeah, the aha moments.
When I
This is what they
say, "Oh
mean.
my God, I can scale and then do more for after this," something
Mm.
like that.
Yeah, for me too. The term scaling you read a lot, and when you first start out, you don't even realize. Sorry, I just got a message from Jareen. Sorry, I left the comment on there for too long. All right, sorry. I'm having a good time. It's been a long day. When I first started, or scaling, the term we read it a lot, but when you start your business, it doesn't mean anything. I remember thinking to myself, I just wish I can make $1,500, $2,000 a month, and I'll be super happy. Like that. That was it at the time. Of course, I didn't have kids.
Really? How much?
$2,000.
$2,000.
Two thousand
Okay.
dollars a month. Because I was making more than that actually when I was working before starting my own business. But you also have to factor in because like we saw Jareen chiming in from the Philippines. We have other people listening, or what am I talking about? We have nobody else listening in yet. But there's going to be people out there in India, in the U.S., in Indonesia, Korea. And so the price of living is very different. So yeah, I was making $2,000, but I wasn't saving a penny. Like my rent was $1,000 or $1,200 because we moved around a lot. Anyway, I'm talking too much about my life. Want to talk about scaling? Um, yeah, I when I first realized that this is what they mean by scaling was when I started getting too many, or not too many, but started getting more and more clients. So more than I could handle on my own without damaging the performance or deliveries of the services that I provide for the clients. But I wasn't ready to scale. So that's what I want to talk about today. Like, obviously you want to scale. So Parker missed out on that part, but the question of this episode was to scale or not to scale, and the obvious answer for everyone that's starting an agency or running an agency would be yes, scale. However, looking back from where I am today, and I'm not super successful or anything, but I am much further down the line than I was when I first started. And looking back, there are points in time where I would, if I can go back, I would stop myself. Did you feel that at all? Like, oh, like we're scaling, but did you have a bigger headache? Because before you start an agency or in the beginning, you're like, as soon as I can get some clients and the business running, I'll be so happy. But did that happen, or did you get more clients and you were like, oh my god, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah. So when first time launch or run my agency, it was only me, my partners, and only one team. I think one employee. So it's like we work for the clients work and something like that, the projects, and then when we start getting clients before 2015 or 16, I think. We still just like usual. We work like, yeah, just work something like that, right? And then when I have some big clients, the government projects, and then the big banks projects and something like that, then I think even I hire more people that time. I have like 16 or something. I forgot exact number of team that time. I think, oh my god, I have a lot of client. I have a lot of teams right now, employees right now. I can live my life. I can go anywhere and something like that. Yeah, I can go anywhere, but every time I go anywhere, I still work anywhere too. That on that that place I went. Yeah, so something like that. So even what I thought the time that I will, after I got the clients, and then I can live better and I can spend my time for my own self, my friends, and I can, yeah, something like that. But at the fact, it's not happen. Yeah, it I still working, working and working.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point, bro. Even until today, we have like so much employees right now, but we still work like crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother episode, but all
yeah.
those, like we talked about this before, but that's also how I got started in the agency, like
Mm.
wanting to start an agency. The laptops by the swimming pool kind of picture. That's never gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm not there yet, but that hasn't happened for me. And so when it comes to scaling, I want to talk about. Let's talk about why or when you shouldn't scale first. Because I think the juicy part is starting it, right? Scaling it. Everyone wants to scale. By the way, hello Naveen. Thank you for joining in all the way from India. I don't know what I forgot what TN stands for. Let me know. Anyway, there are times where I wouldn't scale, or if I was talking to somebody that started out an agency and I kind of knew their operations, or I saw inside their internal office or whatever, there are points where I would say don't scale. And for me, and because I went through that myself, where I wasn't ready to scale, and I think before I get there, one more thing is I feel, I feel that scaling agencies is more difficult. Of course, I've only been an agency owner than certain businesses. So, for example, ecom, um, maybe even SaaS, so software. I feel that agencies are more difficult, or it's different at least. I don't want to say more difficult because I'm not a SaaS founder, not yet. Uh, because with software and ecom and other things, logistics, structure, processes, all of those things are clearly defined. Whereas when it
Yeah,
comes to an agency, every single service, yeah, yeah, let's say you're a social media marketing agency, you're providing social media services or management or advertising services. The process, the things you do might be similar, but everything is different. Every client you get will be different, and even with each client you might have multiple campaigns for each client, or you might have different time frames, so phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or awareness consideration, or at the same time. So every time will be different, and you can't just replicate that and then scale it by 100 like Elon Musk talks about Bitcoin. But it's not that easy in my opinion. What do you think? Do you think I'm right, or do you? And I don't know if you're SaaS founder. Actually, we have a SaaS founder here. Yeah. So if you guys feel that I'm stupid, let me know. But I just feel scaling an agency is a lot more is a lot different. A lot different.
Yeah, because there are so many phase. Like for example, when I first run the agency, my ad spend it's only like for one client. For example, it's only like uh $20 a day, $30 a day, till $50 a day.
Hmm.
And then when I start to getting more bigger and getting more big clients, and then scale my teams, my workflow, then my ad spend will also increase from maximum like before 50 days, 50 dollars a day, and it will be grow like 500 or $1,000 a day, something like
Hmm.
that. So that's different phase, because if you run the ads, for example, or with $50 a day and $1,000 a day, for
So that's
example,
also completely
yeah,
different.
that,
Yeah.
and really it's really scared. I really scared that time. Oh my god, how if I don't, if I can't make it for my client, right? So yeah, what did you say, that this is very hard for agency? It's right,
Yeah.
because yeah, some scaling in agencies doesn't mean it's just scaling, like scaling or big, make our agency bigger or something like that, but it's also from our clients, right? Our clients also grow, scale, like first time it's only $50 for the ads, and then we scale our audience or our clients size of ad spends to 1,000, something like that. And yeah, because of the budgets of the clients, when we start to scale is also bigger than before. We have more responsibility for them, and that's really scare for me the time.
Hmm.
How I can't, how if I can't make it for my client, what they said and something like that. But that's the process, I think, because even till today, when I even my, when I run my own ads, I doing my, I am, what is it, the affiliate, for
Hmm.
example, I partner with some affiliate, and then I start budgeting for the ads like daily, something like that. It's also different when I start doing ads first time for the affiliate. So yeah, that's the part, bro. It's really hard, but you need to scale, but you will find something different and difficult and also scare for your life and your business
For your
if you
life.
start to scale. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you start to scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that time. If you ask me, when you think, yeah, it's on 200, the 2015, I think, or 16. That's the time.
Hey, Siddharth. Thanks for joining in. How's it
I
going?
said that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Parker, and so if you're just joining in now, actually, we have some people watching now. If you're just joining in now, we're talking about scaling, to scale or not to scale your agency or even your business. And we're talking about how, because we're both agency owners, how I felt, and I think Parker agrees with me here. Agencies, scaling an agency is a little bit different from, actually, Siddharth's an ecom person, so maybe he'll agree or disagree, but
Yeah.
it's a little different from ecom and SaaS and certain other business models where certain processes, logistics, things are can be repeated, right? For example, with software as a SaaS company, once you have everything defined, of course you have to upgrade, develop, and continue to improve. But in terms of scaling, let's say you got 10 times more users, really, besides the server, we're talking about customer support, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And for ecom, if you already have the systems in place, if you're drop shipping or you're manufacturing yourself, the logistics are in place. All you have to do is, or I make it too simple. I simplify it. I oversimplify it, but you just have to scale that operation, right? But I'm talking about with an agency. Yeah, you can hire more, and there's certain processes you go through, but every client you have, that process or the outcome, the everything would be different. And then Parker brought up a good point. I wanted to talk about it a little later, but where you shouldn't scale, there were times where I had big clients come to me. I remember all the first big clients. I lost all those contracts, but
What happened?
yeah, I lost all of those contracts. But there were the first big ones that came to me. I rejected myself, not because I'm too good for them, of course, but because I knew deep down that I would never be able to
You worry,
deliver.
you
Yeah,
scare, you
exactly
right? You
what. Yeah,
scare,
I
right?
was
Exactly
scared.
like me that
Yeah,
time.
I feel
Yeah.
because as long as you're not like as an agency, I talk about this often, is we are service providers. And so if you want to succeed as an agency, you need your clients to succeed. That directly ties into, what do you call it? Retention. So retaining the clients and continuing to get paid and having clients. But also, yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's been a long day. I'm losing my train of thought, but I'm forgetting while I'm talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So it ties directly into retention. And as service providers, we need to do well. We need to perform. We need to deliver. They are paying for your services, and so before I even try to win a contract or agree to create a proposal, if I feel I cannot deliver, then I don't want to take it. I still have that today. I'll buy it a little less in terms of because I have the confidence that we can either hire fast or fulfill the job based on our experience and expertise. But before I didn't have that. And then Parker, you asked, why'd you lose all those contracts? Well, I lost the contracts because one, and we talked this in the last episode about finding niching down or not. Was I wasn't most of the bigger companies that came were always looking for full service. So that was one of the points we brought up when it was like to niche down or not niche down. Niching down is great because you can grow in that niche, become an authority and whatnot, and become very very specialized. But the negative side that I said on that webinar or that live stream was you lose out on a big part of the market. And so, from my experience, other agencies might be different, but from my experience and the leads that I've received from all the big global enterprises, we're always looking for first full service. So, that is a point to consider. And if you feel you cannot deliver, don't take it. Because if you take it and you don't deliver and they give you bad reviews or have a poor experience and share it with, if it's a small business, with their friends, especially if you're a local agency, if they're a big business, that can be very very painful as well. Anything to add on to that, Parker?
Yeah. So because dealing or signed with the big company or big, for example, not the company, for example, just the government, right?
Just the government. Just the
Yeah,
government.
because it's not just, it's so big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have some clients in government when I create their project to the tourism, something like that. uh, what Jun said, that they don't ask only for one social media chat or social media maintenance. No, they ask for all included, social media channel, so all campaign like entire year, right? That's all, that's under our responsibility,
Hmm.
right? Like so big, they have like every month's projects, and every month with different program. Each program have like 10, more than 10 sub programs. So so long project, big budgets, and then big clients that if we can make them happy, then of course we will get more and more
Hmm.
project in the similar industry, like maybe other cities or other countries, something like that.
Yeah.
um, but if we are not, then maybe because we also will join like pitching, something like that, and the government has power uh, in the pitching process, uh, uh, especially in the big company or enterprises, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's really hard, bro. If you want to start scale your business and get the clients from the big one, something like that. That's
Yeah.
really, I even that I remember that I told you that I start to not sleep well, like only sleep in one day, only 3 or 6 hours maximum a day. That start from that point when I start working with the big clients, something like that,
and
bro.
you still
Yeah.
get like 3 to 5 hours. You need
Yeah, till
sleep.
today. That's the time. So like it's so stressful, I think.
Wait, our bro, our friend Naveen has a question. Not related to scaling, so get out. Have you ever handled a client who made you think, "Oh my God, why did I pick this?" Yes,
Of course.
every day. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Not every
like
day.
every day, bro.
No, I gotta be careful. There's gonna be people watching this down the road. No, I'm just kidding. But
Just talk in in a good way, bro. They maybe watch us right now.
yeah, we have a lot to say about it. We should do another. We should do a whole. I can do a whole 5 seasons on this. But to tie it in with what we're talking about, so with scaling, um, yes, I have. Yes, I still do. But ultimately, in my opinion, as an agency or an agency owner, if you do have nightmare clients, to a certain extent, it's your fault, as in the agency or the agency
Yeah.
owner, because you allow it to get there. And that is my honest opinion because I also have clients and I've had clients and I probably will have clients in the future where I think what you're saying here, oh my God, why did I pick them? But why do I feel that, or why do I honestly think that any nightmare client is ultimately, to a certain extent, of course, there are some psychos out there, but to a certain extent, it's your fault, is because you let them get there, excuse me, by not having certain limitations in place, not having certain processes in place, systems in place, and of course the contract and any terms in place as well. So I do face that. I have that. And when I sit down, because every week I sit down and I try to analyze the past week compared to the week before that, and also I guess once in a while long term as well. And every time I get to the same point, at the time when you're frustrated, you'll blame the client, right? Yeah, you'll always blame the client. By the way, Parker, you're cutting out again, so I'll just keep blabbering. But it's not the client's fault. They're paying you for a service with a certain understanding. If they misunderstood that, that's on you, right? And so I guess I'm talking to myself. But hold on, I'm gonna get this guy off the screen because he can't hear us properly. And how am I going to tie that into scaling? Sorry, guys, Parker got disconnected. Um, when it comes to scaling, another thing I want to talk about was: are you ready to scale or not? And what's a big Parker's coming back in. What's a big part of scaling is, of course, you have to grow your team, and so you have to hire. And when you hire someone new and you've never been in HR, and even if you have been in HR, most likely you weren't in, a management position. Not in HR, I mean management of a business position. And so you have to put all of these things in place. You have to go through the SOPs, the systems. You need to make sure that all of this is in place so that when the user comes on board, or since we're talking about clients as well, when the client comes on board, they know what to expect, or the user knows what, or the team member knows what to do. And regardless of whether it's a user, I keep saying user because it's SaaS, but regardless of whether it's a team member or a client, if it's frustrating or if they're not doing too well, of course there are poor employees, there are poor client or not great clients and not great employees or not good fits, but I still think ultimately it's on you. And even if it's due to external things and it's not because of, and deep down you're like, oh, it's not because, it's still because of you. As a business owner, responsibility is, it's always on you. It's always on your shoulders. And so if you can't step up to that, and just eat it, right? If you can't step up and just eat it, then maybe, I mean, business owners, anybody can be a business owner, but maybe you should take time and reflect on that. Hold on, Parker's back. Let me know if that made any sense. Sorry, I'm really, really, really a little tired, but I'm having fun. This is like waking me up. So, Parker, welcome back.
Yeah.
You missed the
Actually,
juicy part. Yeah.
actually, yeah, actually, what Naveen said, it's actually relate to the scaling part because if you're start to scaling your agency, and then scaling your pricing, and then scaling your maybe clients niche and something like that, then maybe like every day you will find the typical client like this.
Mm, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So even what Jun said, that it's because we need to prepare the contract, and all the apa, I mean
You're
the
speaking Bahasa.
contract with the client, something like that. Yeah, my bahasa is kind of so yeah, bro, Nafid. So even if you start to scale your agency or your business, and you will of course will find this type of clients
Mm,
that maybe at the night you said, oh my god, why I picked them to be my clients, like what you
at
say.
night.
Yeah.
All right. Navi, let us
But
know.
sometimes, bro, even when you create the perfect contract that cover you and your team to work with client, but still these clients will still like this,
Yeah,
like
but at that point,
still bother us, something like that. Yeah.
yeah, but my point is at that point of time, if you had the systems in place, the SOPs in place, or the onboarding and the
Yeah.
expectations, that point in time you can let them go, and you'll know like
Yeah.
when to let them
That's
go.
why I make like for all my contract with client, I will start to test them also. They also test us, test to work with us. We test to work with them, something like that, for start 3 months. So after 3 months, if they love or they like to work with us, we can continue. If we also like or want to work with them, if not, then we can just stop at the 3 months.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, you gotta. I mean, I started this, of course, also to make money. I'm not gonna lie, but also because I enjoy doing what I do. And at the end of the day, if you started your own business, you left the safety net of a 9 to 5 to ruin your sleep and your body and your health and your peace of mind. You might as well work with people you enjoy working with. I know at the start that's almost impossible because I was that way too. I ate it all. I was 6 to 12 months with clients I didn't want to work with because it wasn't enjoyable, but I still went through it because I had to pay the rent, right? I had to do it. But yeah, let's see. Loyal team is important for scaling. Oh yeah, well, we can do another like 10 episodes on this one. But also, as much because I've had Parker knows, and Parker also had some backstabbings. Um, I've had some poor experiences with people as well, like anybody. But I still feel at the end of the day, no matter how angry I might get by myself in the middle of the night, that it's still ultimately my fault. When I say it's ultimately my fault or your fault or the agency owner's fault, I'm talking about here about loyalty. So if you run into, poor employees or something like that, backstabbings like Parker has faced, maybe we can get into the juicy details in another call. But that's still ultimately your fault. And even if you feel that it's unjust and you shouldn't put it on your shoulders, um, I don't know. I feel it for me. It's still my fault, and I think it's a better way of looking at it to move on and to make sure it doesn't happen again. Because if you keep that chip on your shoulder and you're always blaming somebody else because what they did to you or what they whatever, your life is not going. The quality of your life is going to continue to drop because you're always blaming somebody else, even if it was their fault, right? But um, let me see. While we keep going, yeah, yeah. Please leave me. Yeah, I've had that too. Please, please end the contract. So, I was waiting for them to end it, but yeah. So in terms of scaling, yeah,
But you have $2,000 to pay the rent.
yeah,
So
exactly. I
yeah,
can yeah.
it
It's
continues.
you're always
Yeah.
have one day, but you always have 20/20 vision because after either they end it, you end it, you both agree, we're not in the right fit for each other, and then you feel this huge weight off your shoulder. You feel like you can fly again. Like I've had that many, many times, and that's when I know like, okay, this wasn't the right call, but um scaling. Keep going back to scaling because that's the episode, to scale or not to scale. I want to say also part of what we talked about, I think in episode 1 or episode 2 or whatever, is scaling your offerings is another way to scale. And one of the things that I talked about, maybe I did it in a YouTube video. So if you want to hear it, go watch it. Finished. No. So about scaling, I talked about outsourcing, finding partnerships, and because let's say you did niche down, or you only provide one service because you're a one man or one woman agency owner. And I use this example because it's my experience. You can only provide social media management, right, or social media marketing, and you're working with cafes and restaurants. And you've noticed every time you close a client, or even if you don't close them, every lead that asks you a question, they ask the same thing. I'm looking for social media management, or they sign the contract and they're like, oh, by the way, can you come over and take some pictures of our products and our restaurant, and that'll also help you with your content creation. And every time I had to say no because I wasn't able to do it. And then I just thought, because that happens so often, why don't I just provide this? Yeah, I can't take pictures worth of crap, but I know this other person that runs a photo studio, a little bit struggling, but I know the skill set is there. Work something out with them, work out a better price point, prepare a plan, a proposal, and a pricing that works, so you have some margin, and your friend or your partner or your sister agency also makes money, and also ultimately the client benefits, and that makes your social media management, content creation easier. And so that helped me increase my profit, increase my contract size, and deliver better, because I was able to speak directly with the photographer and the studio on what I might need to create better content, or what my content schedule or calendar looks like, 3 months down the line. And that gives that, and they can, get their creative juices flowing to take better pictures. So that is another part of scaling, and that's a part of scaling without having to hire in-house. I was always stuck with this idea. Now I'm blabbering. Parker, I'll give you a chance to talk in a second. But I've always had this idea that you had to scale, or you grew companies by having employees, and you knew you succeeded when you had a office in a big building, right? So that, or you owned the building. I had big dreams, but that's not the case, especially today with COVID as well. So we have the digital or remote work environment. We have people from all over the world providing different kinds of various digital services and specialized in different aspects of digital marketing. There's just no reason, or you don't have to start off by hiring in house. And when I hired in house in Korea, I had to pay $2,000 plus per month for each employee. So if I had four, which I did, I had four Korean employees. That was $8,000 a month, and I had an offline office too, which is another 2,000 something dollars a month. That's 10K a month in expenses from the start. But yeah, I kept
And it's only
rambling.
for the four people.
Yeah, it's only for four people, right? So it is. I think it's much easier to scale a business today, and you have a lot more options in terms of scaling. However, even if you, so one of the easy parts, and one of the difficult parts that I mentioned earlier was that you need to start hiring, if you're growing a team, and if you want it to hire properly and not have a bunch of headaches, you need to build out systems, workflows, SOPs, guidelines, onboarding, expectations, all of that. And also the fact that it's your first time. If it's your first time managing people, that's a whole new game too, right? But by outsourcing to other professionals, so whether it's a freelancer, a specialized freelancer, or another agency, even maybe a marketing agency or an SEO agency, and you can tie that in with your services, that kind of stems the difficulties of having to learn HR, learn management, all of that, right? Because supposedly or hopefully, that other agency or freelancer, excuse me, is very specialized in what they do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but add one more that when you start to scale your agency and then scale your team, what you need to do is first to find the managerial
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
something. Yeah, because it's really, really hard to find people, and you have to interview them and then start. check their work and something like that, and training them something like that, bro, that's
Bro,
really 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 hard.
bro, hold on now. Simmer down. No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, it is a headache. I think because I mean everyone's different. Me, I'm not good with HR. I'm not really good with managing people. I don't know what am I good at. Having a having a life crisis at the moment. No, um, I for me, I think if you feel that you're not, if, you got to be honest with yourself, though, right? And I try to stay honest with myself every night when I look in the mirror and cry. And but I realize I'm not good with HR, and I'm not good with managing people, and so I think some really good advice is once you can acknowledge, so be truthful to yourself or be honest with yourself, and once you can acknowledge and pinpoint where the holes are in your face, in yourself, hire. So get the experts on board, and if you're short on
Yeah.
cash or the cash flow's not there, one option also is consulting. So you can hire a freelancer short term, so you're not invested, on in a full employment contract, and try to get the help that you need for the certain aspects, right? Because if you speak with a legit consultant or a legit specialist or whoever, that 1 hour or that 1 hour session every week can actually really, really help. I've never had that, so I don't know if that's really helpful. But supposedly, people tell me it can be really, really helpful. And if there's any consultants listening in now, I actually need a lot of help on HR and a few other things, so I'm all ears. But yeah, what do you think, Parker? Actually, what about that? I want to know. Have you had any consultants, mentors, coaches, classes, courses that helped you scale
Yeah,
or?
actually, this I have the community, like not only just the mentor, but we mentor each other, right? I'm good at this point, my friend good at this that point, and we help each other. And also, my in Surabaya, Indonesia, the government here help us. Like they make, even they build the new building and collect all of us, the agency owner, freelancers, graphic designer, and creative people, to work together under one roof, and then we start collaborate each other. So yeah, I think that time, this is the one thing that really helps, uh, especially to do the project in my agency, also to find people. Like you said, we need to find someone expert, like consultant or something like that, that can help us to manage the team. Yeah, I found it in this community as well.
Oh wow, that's really
Yeah.
cool. I
Hmm.
wish I yeah. I guess that's something I never did, and I read about it a lot. I've never really taken courses, and I've never really had mentors. But community is something I had. So online communities, but even there, like I'm pretty anxious and whatnot. So I'm just a lurker. But I love learning. So and because everyone's asking similar questions, that's why if you go into an agency owner community or if you're an SEO specialist, an SEO community, everyone has very similar questions. And if you just start reading, I think it's more helpful than any course. I don't know because I haven't taken that many, but
Yeah, I remember I follow so many programs like incubator, something like that, in Surabaya, and community, and even some workshop, yeah, something like that. So that's good point for me, when I can know or I can meet another people similar, I mean, what is it? Similar profession with me, and creative peoples. That's good. Yeah,
mm,
bro.
yeah, yeah. So to scale or not to scale, always scale, but
Yeah, always scale.
yeah, always scale. You want to grow your. It's like, do you want to grow your business or do you not want to grow your business? Of course, you want to grow your business, but the reason for the title is, or that question is, one, everyone has that question, but when do you scale or how do you scale? No, sorry, not how do you scale. When is the right time to scale, or when do you know it's time to scale? Of course, if the clients are coming in, you have to scale. But some of the things that we mentioned and I bring up every time, and it's something that I'm personally still working on because I don't have all of these in place properly, is systems and SOPs. I think that is the
Mm.
core foundation of any business, but especially an agency where, as I keep mentioning, agencies are so different from ecom or SaaS, where they have, it can be replicated or it's repetitive, right? And it can be scaled relatively easily. Whereas an agency, everything you do is going to differ per client, per time
Yeah.
frame. Yeah.
And each of the clients need to be scaled as
Yeah.
well.
Well, yeah. Yeah. As
Right?
Parker brought up a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's not just it's not just if a client scales, oh, so they're gonna spend more money on ads or they're gonna make more content. It's not that simple. The game changes completely when, as Parker mentioned, for example, with Facebook ads, when he was running $50 a day and then switching to $1,000 a day, it changes a lot of things. Sorry, I'm really thirsty. I keep drinking water.
And I forget I want to what I have to say right now. I forget
It's
just a
okay.
little. Wait.
Maybe we should do our live streams earlier.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. Uh, but okay. So we all understand that we want to scale, and if you're given the choice, you should scale. Nobody's ever going to be ready completely, especially if you're new at this, unless you came from another agency, right? And you were in a managerial position, running operations in the business. But that's probably not the case. That wasn't the case for me either. So how do you scale? Maybe let's talk about that in the last part, and then maybe we can expand on that in the next call. But how do you scale? And for me, it's inbound. But if you're scaling, if you're already scaling, one of the things that can be really beneficial is referrals. And with referrals, of course, I also did not do,
Yeah.
so I'm not a professional there. But with referrals, if you're getting the clients and you're delivering, then asking them. So one, the easy way is just ask them to provide a referral. You can incentivize it. But the other is talking about SaaS tools earlier, and actually all the time. Referral SaaS tools can be used for agencies as well, so that it can be automated. I think Parker, did you ever do referrals for your own agency? I mean,
Yeah, of course, but it's not the automatically or digital referral or something. No, but mostly I have. So until today, I think I have like, if I collect all and calculate all the clients from the first time till today, I have like maybe 400 clients,
hmm oh wow,
and most of these clients is recommended each other. They recommend each other, like they refer each other. It's not refer and then I give them 10% or something. I said no, so they just
they're happy.
give the
Oh
clients to me.
wow,
Yeah, so something like that. So most of the referral I did till today is something like this.
I must be doing something wrong. I don't have that many referrals, not that I know of. We don't have a referral system, but maybe I can try that and make a video on it, and you can subscribe to my YouTube and check it out. But maybe I should. I think the thing with me was that I just bounced all over the place. So yeah, I was in food and beverage. Excuse me, and I also moved around a lot. So I was in different cities often, and so even if I did local restaurants and whatnot, I would move cities after three to 5 months. And then when I got to a bigger playground, I was getting bigger clients, and I don't know. Do enterprises refer? Do you think they refer? I don't, I don't
For
know.
enterprises.
Yeah, maybe that's something I can find out.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. They refer also, bro. So for example, I have one clients from US that time when they came to Indonesia. They sell what is it? I forgot the name. They sell the equipment to swim or something like that, right? So when they came to Indonesia, and then we launched their project, and like in 6 months, they refer their soup brand. So another
Okay,
companies,
okay.
but the soup brand. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So we start working on it again, something like that.
Maybe that'll be something fun to do on here. Set up a referral system. I don't know. I feel I don't know. I'll see. Yeah.
But right now, because I am also the affiliate marketer, bro. Most of agency in US and then in UK, they have the
They have the
affiliate
affiliate
program as
system.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the huge what is it? Commissions. Even if it's only 10%, but it's 10% from the budget, not from the profit.
Yeah, of
So it's
course.
still big.
It's
But
huge then.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
most of them give like 20 to 30%
But that
for
I
the
don't understand
affiliates
how
in
that
agency.
works. That is so high to me. Because for me at my
Yeah,
agency as well, our profit margins are low. But I know for a fact that agencies in general, the profit margins are low. Of course, there's ways
yeah.
to increase them. There's
Maybe they have a
yeah, it's
specific services, like only like internal services as
yeah,
internal project that they can do internally. They offer
yeah. Those can
that
be yeah,
commission from
yeah.
this. Yeah.
The other thing is though, I say my profit margins are low, but our prices also, I think more than tripled over the last several years, and that's another part of scaling and growing and branding where you're able to better position yourself. I was also super underpriced. I was underpricing myself at the time. But I also want to talk about when it comes to scaling or how to scale, because that was the last part we were talking about, is inbound, of course, that we already talked about as well on previous calls. But inbound marketing to me is the most powerful and the way I think people should be driving forward. And my what do you call it ratio of inbound versus outbound. In terms of actual closing of clients, it's more like 90% to 10, 90 being inbound, probably more than 90. But in terms of effort, so internal effort or where I would place my focus, I would do 70 inbound and 30 outbound. That's how I would split that. And one point I just remembered from back in the days when I was first starting out, because inbound, a lot of it's focused on content. You're speaking to the pain points of your audience and the questions that they have and the values that they have. And I think as when you're first starting, a lot of people tend to promote. They're focused on their agency, right? I mean, we're still focused on our agency, but the way we do it is different. And so when I first started, and I know a lot of other people do because I get these type of messages and ads all the time, it's, we are this, we being the agency, we are this, we're here, we can do this, we. It's so promotional, self-promoting, and about them. And you come to realize, as you grow your business, and this is regardless of whether you're an agency owner or an e-com store or whatever it is, nobody cares about you, right? Nobody cares about you. You need to speak to them and what you can do for them or what you've done for others that you can do for them as well. That was like an aha moment for me in the very beginning, in terms of how I was trying to close clients, how I was trying to get clients, the content that we are putting out. So, well, I mean, what do you think about that? Or do you have anything to add to that?
No, that's true, bro.
Yeah, I
That's
guess that
it.
was pretty
We
simple,
just
but
same at
it was
that
a big
point.
thing for me. No, it
Yeah.
was a big thing for me. And but I bring it up because I see it often. I see it a lot actually. Um, Even just scrolling through, if I go through agency hashtags, I see it a lot.
Oh, but right now, so many new agency came up in Instagram and Facebook
Yeah,
and
yeah.
something like that.
Well, everyone's online, so everything is
Yeah.
getting big. Anything else you want to say or bring up, or if anyone still watching in has questions, please let us know. I'm writing a blog post on this,
What
and I
else?
have some points. I'm just reading through my brief right now. All right.
What else about the scaling? Yeah, maybe if you still confused confused about how to scale, what actually scaling an agency works, something like that. Just imagine that you start working, or you just start your own food and beverage business in your home. You make one coffee, something like that, and then you start selling, and then so many people, your friends, about it, and then they start promoting to their friends, and it's getting bigger, and you start open new store. After new store, you open the what is it, I forgot the name. What is it?
Franchise?
Franchise, something like that. Yeah, you start franchising your coffee shop, small coffee shop, and then it will be scaled to all over your country, all over your city, something like that. So that's just same, and that struggle as agency owner. If they want to scale, they have to scale their own agency right now, and then they have to scale also their clients, like this coffee shop as well. So we are not only working with one coffee shop or one entrepreneur or business owner, but we have maybe one time 10 or 20 clients at that time.
Mm.
And then when you think that you need to scale your agency, it means you need to scale as well for your 20 clients that time. So you need to scale the one coffee shop that I just explained to be a franchisor in one country, something like that. So yeah, it really hard, I think, if you want to start your agency, because it's not just about you, it's not just about your agency, but it's also about the clients. That's why when I take my master degree, my professor said that why your agency clients paid you cheap. The time when I still call in college,
Yeah.
clients pay you cheap, but clients also paid the big agency like Mars, like
Yeah.
something like that, with really high,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So yeah, it's because they scaled, and then all of the clients that joined or signed with that big agency, that global something big old and agency, they also will get scaled at this that time too. That's impact for all aspect in agency, including your clients.
Mm.
So yeah, think about the scaling is not just scaling. I'm scaling my team, I'm scaling my price, I'm scaling my services, and then scaling the budget, something like that. But it's also the responsibility. I mean,
Oh
scaling your
yeah.
responsibility for your clients.
Yeah. So Parker
Yeah.
mentioned, and I was the same, is when we did get grow or scale and grow, we lost a lot of sleep. It got a lot more difficult. It did get a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
And going back, it's super important. I say it all the time. Systems, SOPs. Because what and if you're because you don't if you don't have them and you're not ready to scale and you're not ready to grow but you hire. So one of my first hires was a project manager,
Yeah.
and he sat around for 4 months, not because he was lazy. I don't know if he was lazy or not. I never gave him the chance. It was because I didn't know what to do with him. Like I knew what to do myself, and he was just sitting there, and I was trying to think of things to do for him. If I had prepared everything in terms of all the work that I did and where I do, and I would be able to analyze all of that, break it apart, and delegate the work to him. So that's why I really find that it's important. I still do. I still do think it's important today where I am at, and I don't have all of that in place today either. So do as I say, not as I do. But first hires. We talked about contractors, so or outsourcing or freelancers, in house, and in terms of in house, you can also. I don't know if you went through the same thing. Do you hire a generalist, so somebody who's familiar with the foundation of digital marketing? They have a little bits and pieces of everything, or do you go hire a specialist? For example, just the ad special media buyer, SEO specialist. Do you remember? I can't tell if Parker's thinking really, really hard or if his internet's disconnected. Okay, he's
No,
back.
I
Did
can
you
hear you right now. Yeah.
did you hear the last thing I said? Would you hire when you first hired, or if you can recommend to anybody else watching in, do you hire a generalist? So somebody that like understands digital marketing, but they're not specialized in a specific field, so they just know a little bit about everything, or do you hire a full on specialist? They are all in on SEO, or all in on media buying, or all in on something else, content design. Did you get that?
June? No,
Yeah,
no, no. I can hear you clearly. Can you repeat again?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I think you're okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let me answer it, and you'll know my question. For me, well, because I went through all of them. I did in-house and I did general because I didn't have a lot of money and I wanted to, get the most bang for my buck. And what I meant by that is so that they can do more things and helping me because I was the specialist, right? And then I've also hired full-on specialists, and I've also hired project managers who had a understanding of digital marketing. I've also hired project managers who don't have an understanding. So for me, if I were to give advice, I think I'll just go straight to the advice instead of all the problems that I've had. I would probably hire. I would if I had to do it over. I would one outsource or find contractors or freelancers, short-term freelancers that will work that are specialized in the field. So that these are the specialists that are specialized in the field that and I can trust that they deliver, right? Because we're working with clients. And then for the in-house, I would hire generalists. So generalists, as in people that understand the foundations and the principles of digital marketing, and that can help me coordinate and plan out, deliver, and do the things that we need to do with the help of these contractors. One, because contractors are the specialists; they're specialists. You can trust that they get it done. They've done it over and over before. They get paid for it, right? Two, because it's a smaller dent on your wallet because they're not employment contracts. They're one-time jobs, right? And you'll know how much it'll cost, or you'll get the estimation beforehand. And for the in-house with the generalist, you can maneuver more. If they're only doing SEO and they don't know much about anything else, what are you gonna do when you find a client and they need something else, right? So those are probably the reasons why. And also with the generalists, if they're coordinators or project managers or something in a position like that, they can help take a lot of the minor work off of your shoulders so that you can focus on the bigger picture or the bigger job. That would be my advice on how I
Yeah.
would start scaling in terms of hiring a team. Do
That's you guys need to do right now if you want to scale, because it's really different when you start to scale like 6 years ago. Oh my God, bro! Even at on that time, there's no people understand how digital marketing works, how email marketing, drip marketing, media buying works, right? It's really hard to find people like specific or even
oh
general
yeah, it's
in something like this. That's why what Jun said, that if you want to start or scaling your agency right now, that's the best part to do. But I remember, oh my God, I do all by myself that time.
yeah.
No one in Indonesia, or even that time Fiverr is not so big like right now, or Upwork's not so big. That time is only freelancers.com. I remember
Oh,
that.
I remember.
Even people in freelancer.com, bro, they only do like graphic design, the copywriting, but
I
not
remember.
too much that specific in industry digital marketing.
Yeah.
So right, it's really hard when you start to scale your agency and find the team like that. Like this time method, oh my God, so different and so hard that time. So if you want to scale agency right now, this is the best part. Just find people that specific in one task, qualified on that task, and then one people that general, understand all things. Yeah, you can get faster in
Absolutely.
scaling your agency. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would do it if I were to do it again. Hold on, we have one last question.
but
Yeah.
but but because of that time when I when there's no one understand in depth in digital marketing niche, something like that. That's why until today, even I have the team that expert in this digital marketing, I keep checking. Like, oh my god, I don't trust like 100% they
Oh yeah,
understand
yeah, yeah,
this yeah. So yeah, that's make until today I still checking all things, even I know they're expert on that.
yeah. I mean, you have to because you're the one ultimately responsible for the quality of work.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it. Hold on. One last question before we go. Thank you, Siddharth. I want to ask, as a client, how should we move with one agency only for long time? For a long time, how to work better with an agency? There's a lot of fluctuations in the business. Then how should we move as a client? This is a really good question. Turning the table on us as agency owners. How would I go about it as a client, or what kind of advice would I give to clients in terms of how should we move with one agency for a long time? If I understood that part correctly, let me know if I'm incorrect. But I would. There's only one, to be honest. There's only one. It doesn't matter how nice the agency is, or how friendly they are, or how affordable they are. To me, it's only one. Is there ROI? If you're not getting your money's, if you're not getting more than your money's worth, right? Because if you're putting in ads, you want to be making more than the money you put in, or there's no point of putting in the ads. Of course, it depends on the goal of the campaign, but anyway, ROI is the biggest factor here. And so, if the agency is not performing, in performing meaning bringing ROI, then you move on. That's when you would move on. But that being said, just to protect myself a little bit, it does take time to bring ROI. So give the agency enough time to perform. Because, for example, with SEO, I know from my past experience, a lot of people want results the next day, right, or the next month. With SEO, that's definitely not possible, or very, very, very difficult depending on what kind of keywords or industry they're in. So give it enough time. If they're not performing or not bringing positive ROI, that's when I would move. Is there anything to add to that, Parker? For me, I feel like it's only one thing.
Yeah, yeah, ROI is a must for
Yeah,
our
that's the
clients
only
if
thing.
they want to. But for me, bro, before they came to me, and then I can push the ROI, something like that. I will explain for them before. Wait a second. Yeah, I have to explain for my clients first that ROI is not just about what we doing right now or what we will do for the ads and or anything else. They also need to taking care of their product, their services, or even their brands, their self. So ROI, it's the part of the two things here for agency, also for the clients.
Mm.
That's why. Some of the clients that came to me and then we worked together, uh, when we hit the ROI or even not hit the ROI, but we have some result or like data, what need to do after this, right? Like for the next Q3, Q4, what need to do for hit the numbers of ROI, something like that. So we collaborate this in if we talk about the ROI, not only just give. If I am client, for example, Siddharth is my client and Siddharth came, Parker, I have $1 million. You need to make it $10 million in six months, something like that. And then I have to know, I have to do that and hit the $10 million in 6 months. No way. We have to work together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything we need as agency, like for example, we need to uh, uh, or when we start, for example, we make questionnaire and ask for the people, how about this product A, and then most of the answer of the result of the questionnaire say that product A is bad. So we need to tell to the clients to your product is bad. It's depend on 100 people that say this.
Yeah.
So you cannot expect ROI for 6 months if your product's still bad, right? So yeah, that's the time that part that I always talk with my clients, that the hit or the generate profits for clients or ROI. They need to understand that it's collaborate
Mm-hmm.
process from agency and also for the clients.
Yeah, that's a really good point. How to work better with an agency. For me, I would say leave the ego at the door, because at the end, if it's a proper agency, right? At the end, you're on the same team. The client, so you or me, and the agency owner or the agency, they're on the same team. The agency needs you to do well so that you stay together, right? And so ultimately, everything that the agency is doing or saying or suggesting or consulting is the same end goal, which would be whatever you're trying to
Yeah,
do. So you have to leave the ego. And I know it's difficult because if you're a product owner or you're, I don't know, a software company owner or um, any product owner, you put your life and your heart and your soul into your product. And so if it's not working, there needs to come, and there's only so much an agency can do. They're going to give you advice or honest feedback
yeah,
on what the market's telling them. And if your product sucks, or if this sucks, or your design sucks, your branding sucks, or I mean, sucks is not the right word. The agency should not use that word, but this is a casual conversation. So you should, yeah, leave the ego at the door, because you guys are on the same team. There's a lot of fluctuations in the business. Then how should we move as a client? That one's I'm not sure I fully understand, but um, it's and this goes for agencies as well. To react swiftly, but better than reacting is to be proactive and to move quickly, or I guess react swiftly, move quickly. What I mean by that is the market changes very, very fast. And so if you're a product owner, software, SaaS owner or founder, e-com store, whatever business you're in, or an agency owner, you need to keep up with the trends. And better than that would be try to expect or find out what the next trends would be, or how the market is moving, and prepare for that. And also, that's the same thing. Leave the ego at the door, because once you feel, and I brought this up before
that's
too.
really hard.
Yeah, yeah. It's not, if
That's
everyone
really
could do
hard.
it, we'd all be monks, right? Because that's what monks do.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, you need to leave the ego at the door and understand that you're not always right. I think that might work. That actually goes to both agencies and clients, if that makes sense. Parker, any last
Yeah,
thoughts
yeah.
before we go? Because I think that's the end.
Yeah, it's 1 hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah, that was fun. I
Yeah.
mean, I look forward to every Thursday. Even actually today we had some watchers, so thank you and you and you and you and you and you for watching us. We have fun, and we get to talk about our journey. I've never done this before. Not just live streaming. I mean, talking about the journey of getting where I am now, and by no means successful. I just mean better than I was yesterday, right? And I think that's what I want to strive to do every day, and I hope all of you as well, because over time we'll get there, and patience is the key. Patience, hard work, and diligence, or that's the same thing. Patience and hard work, time and hard work, time and diligence. All right. On that note, we're gonna peace out. Thank you all for joining us. We really enjoy what we do. We had fun. And I'll see you guys next Thursday, 8 p.m., because I made a mistake today. 8 p.m. GMT plus 7. That's Bangkok and Jakarta time. Hope you guys join us then too. If you have any comments or questions after, leave them in the comments below. And we'll see you guys next time.